Instead I spied my little eye. Andor, Cassian Andor, talk about Andor, Cassian Andor. He's a rebel spy, super bad friend. Give you a hug at the very end. Make that man feel like 100. He's the rogue one for me. Hate you and so he's not in the show. Is he a fish or a thief? He's Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor.
What? Hey, James, we're on a show. Did you know that? Welcome.
Man, wow.
Yeah, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and I still don't know if he's a fish or a thief, but we just watched the 8th episode of Andor. Still haven't watched the cartoon yet, the cartoon show. I'm going to get to that later, probably after this. But tonight was a little bit weird for me, as I had a problem with my garage. And then my uncle came over to like work on it, but then he was here super late. So then he comes in and he loved my uncle, but he's just like, "Hey, what are we watching?" And I'm like, "Well, we're watching Cassian Andor." And he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Well, okay, so trying to get him caught up on 8 episodes, but 8 basically." And then he watched most of these. All right, well, this shit's nerd shit. I'll see you later. And he just gets up and leaves about midway through. So like yeah, it was a different viewing for me. So I'm a little bit I don't feel as confident as that I got all of the facts. What was funny because this was the episode where I probably knew the most about, ironically, through the scoop stuff.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, it was a great episode. I mean, it was really good. It was very, very the most dystopian Star Wars we've ever seen.
Continuing on that THX vibe from last week, yep, very much so. Yeah. And I think it's safe to say Masamita is the new Crimson Dawn.
Wait, what did I miss?
You missed not seeing Masamita after 8 episodes, so I don't think it's happening.
Oh,
So,
you think
hence
it
that's
won't
the
pan
Crimson
out?
Dawn Boba Fett thing. Yeah, not happening.
Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, there's always a chance that we will still see the I mean, Mon Mothma's story still is going to go somewhere, and I don't know, is it going to culminate out of the Senate or in the Senate? I don't know. So but it hasn't happened yet.
I feel like they're going out of their way not to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Gilroy wants to just stay away from showing the Emperor and showing all that shit. So
Yeah, I think so too.
I get. He just wants to mention it and done.
I feel like Masamita would be a way of doing that, though. Like, how do you get up a level without going to the topmost of the popmost?
You're going to the B squad, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like
sense.
you know, when who does Palpatine send? Who's Palpatine's Mike Pence? It's him. It's what's his role? What's he called? Like a vizier,
Vizier, yeah.
Vizier, yeah. So it sends him. So, by the way, I did invite Max. I think she's coming, but I haven't heard from her in a little while. Maybe she got sleepy.
She called me to let me know the episode started to make sure I was up. So,
yeah, she told me too.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, my mind is a little bit scrambled on everything right now because so much shit happened. But we kind of get him coming to the prison, and one of the little details that I heard that was different was there was like a little bit of water on the floor that would shock you. I'm guessing that if that's what they just said when they were making it, like imagine you're in a little pool of water and it shocks, no, and then everybody gets shocked. But gotta give Diego Luna some fucking credit because that was some mime level fucking getting shocked, like ability, like the contortions. He was straight up going full on Exorcist style.
It's funny. I was just thinking that same thing too. It's like, yeah, Tony Gilroy was like, "All right, just shock the fucking floor."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. What do you think that like food tube tastes like?
Ooh, I don't know. It's probably a little Taco Bell.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making me want to. I would, yeah. If they just put Taco Bell in a tube, like,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah,
No. Anything you're eating out of a tube is not good.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's not a good way to go.
Yeah, and then so anyways, yeah, he ends up going in there. We kind of Cassian just like kind of like tripping out. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, um, one of the things that I had heard was that they were making parts for the Death Star, and it wasn't exactly, you know, that's what they were saying
Yeah.
when they were doing it, and
Mhm.
and then the Andy Circus stuff panned out, and he was a part of that too.
Mhm.
Sort of the, you know, the I don't know what is he? He's like the boss.
Yeah, like the pit boss. Yeah.
Speaking of the pit boss,
Oh,
here comes Max.
The
coming in
big
like
boss.
coming in like a late like a diva, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
I had to
you're not.
take care of some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really late, Max. It's okay.
Was
Y'all are
that code?
early.
Was that code for something? Taking care of some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was having some PP problems right now.
Uh-oh. Is
Yeah.
Mr. Mohawk doing okay now?
No, he's like just going wherever, and luckily
Mohawk
it's
is the cat.
Mohawk. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's going wherever there's like paper or something.
Yeah.
So I just have to constantly clean it up, and it's not even. It's like
Sorry.
a little bit that's coming out.
Well, you know what? You know what will make Max feel better?
What?
A game that we could only play here on this show called Who Wore It Better? Da, 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 da. Dracula, Clea, or Max. And the tallies are in. Max wins.
When did you
Congratulations,
do
Max.
this?
You've won more
Awesome.
cats.
When did you do that? Today?
Yesterday. I did that yesterday.
Did you?
But yeah. I had there was a big poll on it and everything. You won.
Oh, awesome.
Thousands
how
of
much?
people voted in it.
Shh,
Thousands.
liar.
Clea had like 6 votes. Dracula had like 69. And you had 6,900.
It was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dark episode. Not as dark as Game of Thrones where you can't see anything. You see that shit? I was like, what the fuck is that? Do you watch? See, I haven't watched that show yet. I watched Andor. I watched because it has Andy Circus in it. The circus came to town.
I was like,
today.
that's Snoke.
So now we got that's the Snoke origin.
I was like,
story.
that's Snoke. What's
Yeah,
his
can
name?
I be a little self sucking right now?
Yeah.
I texted Bespin, yeah, boy. I was like, circus, shockers, and there's your Melshi. We did it again. we had a good little run there. He and I.
Nice.
On the scoops that did pan out on that shit. So that
He
was
was
good.
tapped for that, right?
I can't lie. Fucking Aria kept bringing up Andy Circus this weekend. I'm like, look, listen, I don't know if fucking Andy Circus is in this shit because nothing really else happened with Andy Circus, and I haven't heard anything else. And I'm like, I don't know what to expect. And to film the shit during COVID, and they're filming Batman at the same time. I don't know. Maybe it's not. So it was nice to see Andy Circus show up, which also made it harder for me to focus on the episode as closely as I wanted to.
Right.
It does that, you're like, yeah, get a little excited. But
he's a working actor, obviously, so he doesn't need to do this. I'm sure he's got plenty of other stuff on his plate. So I wonder if do you think they'll use him in a larger capacity than just this one particular episode? Do you think he's going to be like a recurring character?
Well, my sources were saying that they thought it felt like about they don't know because they said like that shit was just filmed like mini movies. Like when they were doing Andor, it was like they weren't necessarily always totally clear on which episode they were working on. It was like they were making a movie, just kind of treat it like that, and then it gets chopped up into like what it is. That was sort of how it was explained to me. I'm sure it's not exactly like that, but that's how it was explained to me. And they said that the work that was done for the prison felt like it was about 2 episodes. So but at the same time, like I don't think there's going to be like an ulterior motive necessarily, like with the Andy Serkis character. Like if he was, an Imperial spy. Well, if you're an Imperial spy, you're still in the fucking prison, getting fucking shocked and eaten through a tube and shit like that. Sounds like you're still in prison at that point. So what would be the incentive, right? And so I have to think that he is just a dude who's like going through it. But we know that Cassian gets that thing and does this little like blowing up the door thing. So they're gonna. So I think next episode we might start moving into some Shawshank territory.
Yeah.
Like taking capacitors or something to like what I mean, make a little jig up something, blow up a door or something. I don't know, but so either he's going to be their enemy and they're going to have to like take care of him, like throw him onto the carpet, onto the floor, kill him, or he's going to be with them because Melchi's there. Melchi, not is it Melchi or Melchi? I can't remember.
Melchi.
But Melchi. Melchi ends up going there, ends up in that prison with them, kind of like a little bit of a rebellious dude, a little bit comparatively speaking.
Right.
And then we know that he's on Scarif with them at the end, like storming the fucking to get the Death Star plans at the end, and so we know they make it out. That's the point.
Yeah. I guess they probably go Bridge on the River Kwai with Andy Serkis' character, kind of like the Alec Guinness, gets a little too sucked into his work to, kind of checked out from reality. Probably been there a little too long. So,
yeah.
But I was wondering, I was like, man, it would be a waste if they can get Andy Serkis as a recurring character, get him on there. I think they would probably do it. I just don't know if they could.
Well, I mean, he, it would be kind of cool if he makes it out with them and is part of their rebellion for a time,
right?
And then
and then he turns into Snoke, right?
Then he turns into Snoke. He gets like male model like implants and gets real tall and fucking. He's like fucking. He takes one of Luthen's wigs, gets the fucking hair going, and then he's filming a Pepsi commercial. And pyrotechnics go off, and there we go.
I fucking love the music in this in this show. It gives me like feels in my guts, I love this.
You just think prisons are hot.
So
just admit it. You're just into it. You're a little weirdo.
No.
You little freak. You little freak. No, I'm kidding.
I have prison boyfriends. Yes.
Prison boyfriends. No. Yeah, this is my Turkish prison boyfriend.
No.
Why were there no aliens in that prison?
They were did you notice they were like only minorities? It looked like the majority were minorities.
I don't know about majority.
It's pretty diverse. I think it was kind of diverse because Andy Serkis, he's a white. Sorry, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's a couple of them look like they were just like normal nerds, and then some of them look like they would definitely rough you up. A couple of them were kind of scary looking. Look like they had been through some fucking shit.
Like
that one old guy
would have sex with you.
Some of them, but that one old guy looks like he'd fucking just like drink your blood. He wouldn't really want to. He wouldn't give you any sex.
Did you notice the Star Wars nudity scene?
No. Oh, the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
did that work? Did that work?
Yeah. Did you see anything?
Kind of a little bit.
Was I at the wrong angle on my TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to angle my my screen, and I was like,
It felt super realistic because when I looked down, I can't see anything either. So I was like, "Oh, so this is Star Wars is getting realer every day."
oh gosh.
But yeah, I'm gonna guess that like maybe they have like a roadie in prison because like like they all have to speak the same language and they have to have like the same fingers to do the same jobs. And so like
Maybe.
Rodian's like, I can't do it. I got stupid hands, stupid hands. Right?
That could be true.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually like for a few months. So it makes sense. Prison is terrifying as a prospect if you're LGBT, and yeah, I can imagine. Especially just in general, it's terrifying, and then you add that component to it. I started to wonder if they were going to go and they were going to take when Vel and Cinta are meeting up, and she's like, Vel's like clearly like fucking like, dude, are we gonna take a fucking cruise? Like, are we gonna go on vacation? And Cinta's like, dude, we're in the fucking Rebel Alliance. We're trying
She's
to build.
like, I love you.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah. She's like, you know what? We'll get down, but we're gonna get down after we take down the Death Star. And when we find out what that is.
She's
and
like,
Vel's,
let's scissor.
Yeah. Vel's like, scissor fight, and she's like, no.
Rebellion.
Rebel versus Empire fight.
Yeah.
Galactic Civil War. And like, but you can tell Vel just needs a little bit of love, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Vel needs love too. But anyways, I thought they were going to take that down to a place where they couldn't be in a relationship together for a few seconds. I thought they were going to say like, we can't be in a thing here with the Empire because they wouldn't. I thought they were going to say that if they wouldn't allow it. I thought it was going to go that way for a second. But then it didn't.
The way she said it, like
yeah, it started to feel like that, right? Did you kind of think it was going to go?
Yeah,
but then it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't really go there. They didn't really say it, or they didn't really like make it into a thing, if it is a thing. But maybe there's subtext there I missed.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is subtext because they're kind of dancing around it. They're not coming out and saying exactly.
Yeah,
it's just kind of it's strongly hinted at.
Yeah,
that's about it. Yeah.
Ragnar just Darth Vader does. I don't know why though.
Didn't Tony Gilroy talk about the cutscene from the prison where Cassian dropped the soap?
You
didn't talk about that?
No. I think you were just imagining that. I don't know why, but I don't judge you. I mean, prison, can be fun if in a kink setting, I guess. But maybe not in real life. Star Wars makes sense. I'm so happy they handled WLW couple in a sensitive way. My heart skips for the inclusion in this show. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad for you, and I'm glad that it doesn't feel like tacked on,
like in your face, like
no, I don't mean that. It doesn't feel like they just checkboxed it and then like scooted it under the rug kind of thing, like the fucking kiss in Rise of Skywalker at the end.
Yeah.
He's like JJ, but don't
China though.
Go there anywhere else
under the Merkin.
Well, but I mean they could have done it like, look, we have a gay couple. Look at them, and then they don't ever fucking reference it again in the next episodes. We actually go back to it because those characters care about each other. And then therefore they remember one another, and therefore there's a cost to rebellion. And it's that if they don't get the like hiding little cubby holes all the time, being like, hey, where are you drinking chocolate, blowing up stormtrooper stuff? Like they don't get to do that, and that's good. It's handled realistically, and I think, I mean, not my place to say necessarily, but it seems responsibly. You know what I mean?
Except for in China, where I'm sure that dialogue is very different.
Oh, fuck China. Hey, how's it going, James?
Disney for not having the balls to do
Soapy James. Oh, he said sup, James. He said Soapy James. Hey, Johnny, how's it going, Mr. Johnny? Johnny, you want to invite Johnny, or do you not want to invite Johnny? I'll invite Johnny. I don't care. I ain't scared of Johnny. Johnny texted me, but it's today's Luke's birthday, and so I forgot to get back to him because Luke opened up his X-wing fighter. And he's like, I'm going to do it all on my own. I'm like, thank God. Yes, do it all on your own. Do it all on your own.
We're talking about the Lego set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. He eventually, like, like the prison camp, the work got sloppier and sloppier. It's like, Dad, I don't understand why this isn't working. Shit's like inverted and stuff. And I was like having to reverse engineer this whole thing. So
I remember talking to a dude. He was the manager at a Lego store, and they had the big TANF 4 in the window there. So I'm like, so who gets to build them? He's like, well, we get to volunteer when a new set comes in. He's like, so that came in, and he was like, hell yeah, I'm doing this one. He's like 3 hours into it, and I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. The fucking when Rise of Skywalker came out, I got Luke the Millennium Falcon. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It was really hard. It was really difficult and obtuse, and like you got to do it. It's just like you just like move it this way and it just shatters. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah, at some point,
the X-Wing
like forced labor. I mean, it's like fuck this.
Yeah, that's what they should have put in that camp. Like Cassie should have been putting together Lego sets, and then they have Lego sets on the floor. You can't walk on them. You'll step on Legos. It'll hurt your feet. You know.
Those are actually Roblox that they were doing.
Asitru says, did he put the weapons on backwards like Hayden? Yeah, I saw that video too. There's this video of this adorable little kid, and he's just like interviewing Hayden Christensen about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they're like putting the X-Wing together. But when he puts the Lego X-Wing together, you know, like the fucking front guns on the wings, he puts them on going backwards. And I don't know if Hayden Christensen literally is just a fucking lunatic. I mean, or if he was like doing it on purpose, hoping that the kid would call him out, but then the kid ended up being so polite he didn't call him out. I don't know. It was really weird. But you can't let that shit stand. I think everybody should always hold that against them whenever they seem like, you know, you're a fake fan, Anakin. Fake fan, Anakin. That's what we're gonna start calling you.
I don't know.
Did you see?
Don't try to put your guns on backwards. You just do it. You just go with it.
Did you see the dance they did? When they did that like electrical thing on the floor, they're like,
yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like,
God,
that was some Exorcist level fucking.
it was.
I don't know if it's pantomime is the word, but whatever.
They're just playing Twister.
Yeah.
It seemed really like intense.
You know, left hand green.
Like that's a good dance move.
I want to play Twister with Bix. That's what I was thinking when I saw her run. I was like, it's pretty good.
I knew this was going to be a good episode for you when I saw that.
I for a few seconds, I started, you know, what's Cassian's buddy's name? The big guy? Big guy. For a second there, I thought Big Guy was gonna move into the Big's business, and I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like rooting for him. I was like, you know what? I kind of want this guy because Cassian, nah, that guy, he's a fucking loser. He's fucking up. He's in prison. Stop. But this guy's a working man. He's a working man. He's got a job. He's fucking taking care of the old sick mom. Like Biggs, come on.
Yeah, Biggs just got horrible tasting guys. I mean,
yeah, but yeah, then they started fucking up Super Mario in front of it. And this kid, and so did they just do you guys think they just randomly took that guy, or did Biggs's little call center get tapped? Like did Biggs's activity with the little tube doing the little call? Brasso, thank you, Astro. Did that get him pinched, or did he just get pinched because they're fucking the Empire and they're just pinching everybody? But the thing about it is if he got pinched, I think they're going to search his house and they're going to find the little comm thing. So Luthen and Clea's got the right idea here. Gotta say, Clea's got her shit together. Mm-hmm. She's like, you know what I mean? She's making the right calls. And under most circumstances, killing Cassian Andor probably is the right call. We know he's our hero, and we don't that she's fucking making the wrong call. But look at the fucking assholes they work with. For the most part, it would be the right call.
Yep.
You know, overall, anyways. So, Saw Gerrera. That was weird. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad or anything like that. I don't mean it was bad. I don't mean it was weird in a bad way, but it was definitely weird. It was like, hey, I'm not going to tell you anything. You're not going to tell me anything. Want to buy some shit? Nah, I'm going to insult you instead. And then they just kind of go back and forth about shit. And then no deal. That's it. And then they like leave, you know?
Why aren't his eyes blue?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Like, who is this?
Actually, I was wondering, were his eyes different? Were his eyes different again?
They're brown.
They were just the normal brown.
Yeah.
Another thing that didn't pan out was the Utapau shit. That wasn't Utapau. We didn't say that. That was something that was going around, but I think it's more confirmation
It
that
looked very similar to when they were on Jeddah. The whole
Mm,
setup and the
No, it's not.
no, it looked the setup.
Oh yeah,
inside.
the setup is how
American.
Saw Gerrera decorates. But yeah,
he's the Osama bin Laden of Star Wars now.
they actually it was a new planet. I just don't remember what it was called.
I know it was a new planet, but I just noticed that the inside, the interior was very similar to that of Jeddah.
Yeah, Lobo thinks that the tower signal was the trigger, and that is my assumption as well. I just didn't know if there was like, I don't
think it was. I don't.
You don't think
just
so?
because they were looking for Bix by name, and so how did they trace Bix back to? I mean, where did they get her name from? Not from looking at the tower. So they clearly had more intel than just there was a signal sent from this tower. They had names.
I think they tortured Super Mario. Super Mario gave her name over that she was the one using the tower. That's what I think was kind of the implication there.
Could have been.
But once again, I'm not positive.
Yeah.
It could be though.
It's funny that that scene with God, I'm really bad with these names. Cereal guy and the blonde lady.
Dedra.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're the same exact.
Oh, fucking nerds! They're gonna.
And they're like, Dedra, whatever her name is, it's like telling them, forget you ever did this, or forget this ever happened, or
And I guarantee you, during sex, one of them says
the same.
One of them says shit on me for sure.
Yeah.
One of them, they're weird. You can tell they're definitely weird.
Really weird.
So here's something I wanted to. I hate to bring up a theory that didn't pan out, but fucking seems like it's back. Maybe Vel, Cintas is going to pretend to be a rich girl running from her rich parents, rebelling and being a little fucking idiot. And she's like, "Oh, I'm a mirror." Are we back to? Is she the older daughter? Is she the older daughter of the Mothmas? Because we do have her showing up at the fucking Mothma house, looking very rich girl.
Have you noticed that the daughter like keeps coming up like very strange every time?
Oh yeah, she's a little asshole, little fucking asshole.
Like she's up to something.
Do we know what Tay's last name is?
Tay.
Zonde.
Because I would think it would be more likely that he's
Chocolate Rain. I chocolate rained you. Tay Zonde.
That's what I meant. Oh shit.
Chocolate Rain. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what Tay is. Yeah, I just call him Tay Tay.
What if it's Tay Sartha?
Yeah. Wait, who was Tay Sartha? I know that name.
Vel's last name is Sartha.
Oh, okay. Sartha. Okay.
So what if that's his daughter?
Yeah.
That would put her in the apartment. And
True.
that would also then connect with him saying my politics might be too strong for you.
Yeah.
Did you notice that drink that Perrin made with those? Were those live worms or something?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, in the drink.
Yeah,
in the space.
Yeah,
and turned into.
Remember Poltergeist 2 and Great T. Nelson drank that worm and then the worm came out of his mouth. That was badass. I think in this one you like. I think it's an aphrodisiac, and then you ejaculate that worm, and it's like I think that's what's going on there. Something like that.
That's why you didn't see Masamita. He's still in the bathroom,
Yeah, he seemed. Yeah, and then she's like a quick night, and Perrin's like, she fucking literally said like something about faking it, and he's like, yeah.
Did you notice that Perrin said God is in his holy temple? Afterwards.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. God is in his holy temple. God, that was creepy.
You're gonna give Rob nightmares.
Yeah. Fucking Perrin. Yeah. Hey Nick, how's it going? If I was a rich girl, no. Yeah, but we did learn a little bit about her. I mean, that is like kind of, in a way, something that sort of makes sense. Like, when you get down to it, people like to really even rebel at like a fucking hippie level requires you to be fucking upper middle class. I know that sounds weird because it sounds like you don't need anything, but you actually do need have access to resources to actually become a bum for a time, like in that way, And so I kind of think it kind of makes sense, and also at that point too, probably access to education as well. Like you don't necessarily just rebel because you're angry. You know what I mean? That just would sort of, to go back to the anarchy joke that they make. That's kind of what you would do. You would just kind of sort of become an anarchist who doesn't believe in anything, but you have to have some kind of indoctrination. And so it kind of makes sense that Vel would be sort of a privileged white girl, basically, who and then ends up going in, but has convictions. Not to say that's a bad thing and she sucks or anything like that. Doesn't mean that. I mean, she clearly like fucking slept on the floor of Aldani and shit, to pull off the heist. Which, speaking of, I did like when Saw and he are together and he talks about how it's like a masterpiece. That was a masterpiece and stuff. That was pretty cool. I liked. I hope that we get more of the Saw Gerrera thing. What I'm thinking is going to happen, I think that there's a mutual respect there between them, obviously, but also a distrust, because we know Saw Gerrera is a fucking maniac. Deep inside his head, he's very twisted and confused about who's what and what's up and down, all that kind of shit. But I'm wondering if maybe the most uplifting thing that's going to happen is he's going to do the attack that he was asked to do. He was asked to hit something. I didn't know what it was called. I can't remember what it was called now. But what he was asking him to do, he said, "I'm out for hire." Maybe he won't do it for hire. Maybe he'll just do it because he's Saw Gerrera, and maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe you think it's not on, and then they're going to show up and do it.
He's Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera. Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, and the average normie watching the show is probably going to be like, "What the fuck is going on?" It's just a random scene if you don't know context. They'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy? Where'd he come from?"
If you're watching this in order, there was no context to get to it.
None. So
just all of a sudden,
yeah, and they seem to do that a lot with these shows. They did the same thing with Boba Fett. Just kind of threw you in there and said, "Yeah, you figure it out."
Yeah. Well, on this one, I don't feel like anything's been filler at all.
No.
There's like no, like I had an idea. Oh, I'll follow up on it someday. Somebody will follow up on it, but I put the idea out there. I get the credit. I did it. It was me. I did it. And like this one doesn't do that. It's like, oh, we had an idea, and then how does this play into the rest of it? Like everything. I feel like every idea that made it in needed to justify itself over several things. So
yeah,
I hope that wasn't just remember Rogue One. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to come back into play.
I'm sure eventually it makes sense. Yeah. He's not pulling a JJ where he's just like in mentioning stuff like, "Hey, Palpatine returned. How'd that happen? Oh, hey, we're going to another planet." Just don't pay attention to what we just said 5 seconds ago because we're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dell says, "What was that, a rip on Vel? Cinta saying Vel's running away from her rich family?" Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's she was taking what she knows as her cover, but then she also called herself a mirror, telling her like she knows what she has to do. And I was like, but another place I could see this going, maybe she is a rich girl who ran from her family, and maybe that family is somebody she has to murder now.
Ew.
Maybe her parents are high up in the Empire. She saw what her family was doing. She saw what her parents was. She saw corruption. She saw how evil they can be and exactly what it means to be in that. And maybe she has to go kill daddy now. And maybe that was her holding it in front of her face going, "You know what you have to go do. You have to go kill." It could be that too.
Palpatine's daughter confirmed? Is that what you're saying?
Palpatine Sider confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. I mean, why? I mean, Palpatine, he's got to be fucking at this time.
Yeah, see?
I mean, he's a fucking ball sack. This walking ball sack.
This might be the first time you beat Mike Zero on a scoop.
Mike
I
Zero.
know.
Palpatine's bumping. We got sound effects now?
Yep.
Apparently.
Fucking zip zaps and zooms. But I mean, we got sound effects. We got who wore it better contest. This show is really revolving. But we got the budget.
I watched the show yesterday. You didn't. Yesterday is in Monday.
Okay.
Did you watch the
didn't see
special
them.
show? The pre-show?
No, I was at the back.
Yeah, thousands of people voted, and
Yeah.
you won, Max.
This is the most watched Making Star Wars episode ever, if I'm not mistaken.
It
Correct.
was like about 400,000 views, I think.
400,000. Yeah.
Yeah. It did so good. I took it down and retired it. I said, you know what? Now people saw this one.
Yeah.
Done.
You know,
Exclusive.
well, Lucas didn't want it to be, on YouTube, so we had to take it down. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So the Vel and
Let's call it
Serial, Velma and the carnival is what we'll call him. Velma goes to the carnival. No, when he kind of does his like little speech there about like how he wants to help her.
Mhm.
Anything that you gleaned from that? My uncle was kind of talking a bit at that point, and I was like, "Come on, uncle, come on, Uncle
Yeah.
Carlo, or whatever that guy's name was." But he was just basically saying like I was right. I knew I was right about my hunch, even though I fucked up.
he was basically like, "Hey, give me a job because I found this guy that you're looking for in a matter of days because I was so good at my job, and you guys need help finding him again. So you should hire me to help find this guy."
Yeah.
And it was weird. I don't know if Daedra was, because at the end she's like, file another complaint or file another request, and you'll be talking to someone that isn't me. And I didn't know if that was a threat or if that was because then after she leaves, he smiles like, "Oh, I guess I should file another request so I can talk to somebody else." And so either they weren't clear on what she meant by that, or Cyril's a little dense.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, I get to talk to somebody else." So I'm not sure where they were going with that. That wasn't very
Yeah.
clear.
It did feel like that was the moment that he's stepping in. I just don't think he's. I mean, like I said, I was kind of like really like I really need to hear this. I was trying to give that vibe, but as I was like looking at it, I was like, yeah, this seems like the moment that he gets in, even though they don't really want him, but he's got a point.
Yeah.
Right. And then so next time he'll probably be helping her, but she'll be like, you mess up again. You're on my last nerve, nerd. Kind of seem like that's where it's going. Right.
Yeah.
And you are right. I mean, Mike Zero's had thousands of scoops correct, and I should not focus on the ones he got wrong, but the ones he got right, which was hundreds, if not thousands, at this point. I mean, Jeff Bridges is Luke Skywalker. Star Destroyers were pulled down by Luke Skywalker in every sequel trilogy episode, but the Force. And now that's why they put the Star Killer his helmets everywhere in that fucking shop. That shit's like fucking showing up. Did you guys see that? I think the helmet ended up in another place in this episode.
It's like fucking everywhere.
Yeah, it's like fucking teleporting around.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Did you see it? But maybe Cyril's competing with Dedra. I think he's just trying to join her, man. I think
Yeah.
like she's who he wants to be, even though they're really pathetic in the same fucking way.
They are.
He doesn't realize it, And then once they get that status, like to him, if he gets that job, that's honor restored.
Mm-hmm.
But then look at what her existence is. It's fucking awful. You know what I mean? It's everybody trying to backstab you, and you're treated like shit because you literally are shit, and you're a fascist stooge on top of all of that.
Why are they throwing her off or blowing her off after everything that she's trying to like?
Well, she wants to be promoted, and everybody else wants to be promoted too. So everybody's trying to gatekeep her out, and then she did that fucking baller move where she abused the emergency powers, just like Palpatine. And they're like, "Oh, she's one of us." She gets promoted, but then she was also told to watch her back because now other people are going to be gunning for her.
They're like, she's MAGA, you know. So
yeah, she's super MAGA. She's coming up. She's Marjorie Taylor Greene levels right now. She's getting there.
I'd say she's more John Bolton. She's a true believer. You know? Yeah. It's not, you know, because there's people that like are like genuinely evil, and they're like, I'm like Palpatine. It like doesn't give a shit. Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking evil and I do this. These people are true believers. They think they're doing the greater good. Yeah, and those are the scary people because they feel like they have a calling.
Yeah. Well, that's what's his name's just Cyril Karn's just about the rules. He just thinks the rules should be followed. It doesn't really care what they mean. Just we said these are the rules, so them's the rules. I mean, that's the kind of dirtbag he is, right? I mean, that's kind of what we've got so far. Even when his boss was like, just chill out. If you do this, all this other stuff's going to happen. Like, let's be pragmatic here. It doesn't need to be a big thing. Just make it like, you know, they're saving some puppies and they fell into the ocean and died. Okay. So they make it like that. And then he's like, no, you can't leave it alone. So Mike Zero is a young Dave Grohl from another universe. Yeah, definitely Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. But yeah. So, anyways, they once again, I was thinking just THX style imagery, and it was just really fucking dystopian. That's all I really got to add. It was nice to see the fucking couple of scoops pan out, that it wasn't, you know, a waste of time, and nice to see Andy Serkis actually, you know, not playing a CGI character, but actually Andy Serkis playing a character in Star Wars. Nice to see Melchi showing up. Like, I don't know, that was just like, once again, it's like not like a cameo. That's the other thing, though. Is like, this is like the origin story of how these two guys met. It's not a cameo. It's not like Amar Akbar going, "Oh God, look at this! Oh, don't go there! It's a trap!" and then walking away. You know, it's like, oh yeah, these guys met in prison. You know, and it
that doesn't sound good.
Hey, depends on your point of view. Sounds good, might be good. Toilet flips down. That was cool. Kind of like that though. I was kind of like, you know, it's kind of, at first I was like, this is a little like one of those fucking European prisons that you hear about white collar people going to. That's like a nicer apartment than most of us have. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking do that. And then
their cell. You're talking about their cell?
Yeah, and then the fucking toilet flipped down. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Wasn't that actually filmed at the Galactic cruise ship in Orlando?
Yeah, it's that small, right?
That's what $5,000 a day gets you at Disneyland these days.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool actually if that thing was you get to be you're on a prison ship. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you have this little room because like justified it all with story. You're like, oh God, I love story. But yeah, but I mean, was there any other big things that happened or any plot points or anything that like of note that I am missing that we didn't touch on?
No, I mean we got the Mom Mothma arc where she's like trying to buy votes with a little soiree.
She has a lot of parties, a lot of dinners, a lot of din-dins.
It's probably the most accurate portrayal of politics in Star Wars.
And I'm waiting for Masamita to pop up.
She was a good phony. when she talks about like that window and like staring outside, she's like, I got fucking 8 hours to look out this thing all day. I'm trying to fucking murder the emperor.
Yeah.
She's like,
Sort of little fake laugh.
yeah, so I will try to look out that window. Sure, you asshole. Yeah. And but yeah, and that we've seen pictures from that one, but yeah, fucking, we do need Eddie Murphy in Star Wars. My girl wants to party all the time. I like on the video. He's like,
Yeah.
he does this move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Max, next time you're recording vocals and you're getting really into it, do this. Okay, it's really important. It's really important.
I do actually.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it again. And Rick James is there. I want to be your Rick James.
All right.
He's
It's
just
my
like
cats I'm talking to. I'm like, hey, do it again.
your next cat has to be Rick James.
My next cat. Oh,
there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. But by the way, I wanted to take a picture, but I was driving a car. But there's this like freeway overpass that Penny always makes me drive by because we were taking a walk by this overpass one day, and we saw a bunch of cats. And Penny's all, look at all the cats. And I said, you don't know about this place? And she goes, no, what is this? This is Kitty City. She's like really thinks it's Kitty City to a degree. I think maybe she knows it's not Kitty City now. But today we got off the freeway to go to take a look to the Olive Garden where we want to go for his birthday.
oh.
And we get out, but we see Kitty City. I'm like, there's like fucking 30 cats in Kitty City today.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to take a picture of being like, like that, like throwing like a gang sign or something at you, like Kitty City, fucking Kitty City locos, don't fuck with us. And but
I have that song in my head now. Thanks.
yeah, no, I really have that song in my head now too, and I really do mean thank you, Nick.
My girl wants to party all the time.
Then if any of you youngins have never seen the Charlie Murphy, Dave Chappelle sketches about Prince, you definitely got to go see those. You got to watch those. Don't watch Andor. Don't watch this Tales of the Jedi shit. Go watch that and get that out of the way for life, and then go watch Andor.
And if that song gets stuck in your head, just watch Pluto Nash, and it'll just pop right out of your head.
Well, Pluto Nash.
Yeah.
that was that an Eddie Murphy movie?
That was an Eddie Murphy movie. You never saw Pluto Nash? Come on, man.
I never saw. I celebrate Raw. I celebrate The Golden Child. I think it should have a sequel. I really believe it should have had a sequel.
The Golden Shower was the sequel, I believe.
The Golden Shower.
And then it was a weird trilogy, and then it was The Golden Compass.
Golden Corral.
When the guys got in the prison shower in this episode, did they have a dry shower? Was it like just disinfectant?
It was like a mist. It was like a misty thing.
I was about the cutscene. Nobody listened.
Right?
Like, how do you get clean with that?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I kind of couldn't tell. I was like, do they just kind of get disinfected so they don't even get like the water, like the relaxing
maybe
vibe,
it's alcohol. Maybe
you
it's
didn't
like a
see
spray
any
of alcohol.
hands, so I mean, Max did because she did this. What was going on down there, Max? Were they like,
Yeah.
They-
The
they
cut
weren't-
scene. Was
they
everybody
weren't
cut?
scrubbing.
Was everybody circumcised? No, circumcised. Imperial prison does not require circumcision by everyone. For everyone.
I just know that they were all embarrassed because
Yeah.
they didn't like being nude in front of each other.
It looked cold in there. No,
it was hot. I'm sure.
The floor's hot, but it looks
Uh-huh.
cold most of the time. Yeah, I don't know. Did we get any of the exterior shots of like the water being like thrown out of the did any of that stuff happen in this episode? The stuff that we saw from the trailers, where it's like a big complex that like goes underwater. It looks like, or maybe goes underwater.
Yeah, it was kind of ambiguous as to because you saw like like water falling inward to something around
That was
it, but it
that
didn't
was
look like it
creepy.
raised up and down. It looked like it just had water falling
Right.
into it.
That was
It
creepy
didn't
to
look like
me.
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing that maybe that stuff is the workings of it. Maybe they're going to show us more of that in the next episode, so that way we understand how the prison break's going to happen. You know, like what they have to do or whatever to get out. But there was a lot more in the prison in this episode than I thought there would be in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder if the break is next episode. You know what I mean?
Well, they said this is a 3-episode arc, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, you almost think it would be, because another episode of like, oh, gonna get shocked if I hit the floor, and gonna build these machines. Yeah, that's not gonna pan for 2 episodes. So
screeners of this episode of this arc of this 3-parter are out there.
Yeah.
So I imagine some details will start hitting pretty soon. I won't go into it. You know, I at this point we're like there. I'd rather just watch it.
Yeah.
But
the only way it works is if there's a failed prison break, because otherwise they got to get out next episode. Like if they try next episode and fail, and then 3rd episode they actually succeed. But yeah, you're not going to have another episode of them just building shit. That's boring as fuck.
Yeah. Well, it did look kind of fun though when they had to do it fast. I mean, I bet like the first day is kind of fun. First day, like, oh, we're doing it fast now, but it's probably not very fun when it's every day. But
that was actually filmed in a plant where they build iPhones.
What are they building anyway?
Death Star parts.
iPhones.
Really?
iPhone
well,
14.
that's what my sources told me. But that could be subtext. It could be what the production intended it to mean, what they were saying when they make it, and it may never play into anything in a big way or in an overt way, or it might be at the end of the day a line in some book that just clarifies what they were building. And the show may not go into it, but they did say that Stardust was mentioned, and so it did seem like there was going to be a through line between this and Stardust by the end. But once again, you don't know what Stardust is. It's a phantom that they're all chasing.
Well, I mean, at this point, the Death Star would be, because you're 5 years out from A New Hope, right?
Yeah.
So that fucker's pretty much built at this point. And realistically, like, how many guys are in that prison? Death Star's fucking huge. I mean, those guys couldn't scratch a dent into the amount of labor it would take to build something that size. It's fucking
well, we have to assume that there's maybe 1 million of that same
there had to be a shit ton of them.
There probably is. You know what I mean? There, when you get down to it, like, and then that was one of the subtle story moments is the men in the prison are realizing we're not prisoners, we're slaves. When they start to notice that the sentencing is changing and people are being resentenced.
Well, it very much reminded me of, because I did a lot of study and research on post-war Vietnam, where they basically told, they rounded up people from the North Vietnamese and said, you're going to have to go to these re-education camps, pack enough clothes for 2 weeks.
Free college.
And then
no?
Not quite. Yeah, not quite. And then, like 10, 12 years later, you might have gotten released. And these were people that were, doctors and very well-to-do people in society.
Wait. Are you sure you're not talking about like real party dudes who stay in college for a long time because it's pretty fucking sweet there? No?
Well, yeah.
Okay. It's not what you mean at all. Got it.
Might have been that too,
Yeah. I mean, Bix, hottest of the college chicks. Maybe. Probably.
I think Bix went to college. I don't think so.
I think
seems
she did.
more. She seems more like like the local community college kind of girl. She didn't know what she
Yeah.
wanted to major in, so she just took a bunch of classes, then dropped out, and she ended up working at this shop.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that, honestly.
Yeah, it was her dad's shop, so she kind of.
I thought it was a Tracksuit Mafia shop.
No, it was her dad's shop.
Was
'cause
it?
That's
Did they say it was her dad's?
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
shit.
Cassian says like, she's like, you shouldn't be here, and he's like, that's what your dad said
Yeah,
when
I
I used to
remember
sneak in
that.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
yeah.
You've become quite the expert on Bix. You've studied
Oh, I
up
know,
quite a bit.
I know all about her. I know everything about
Yeah.
her. I know
He's
how
a
many steps she
stalker.
ran. She ran
What?
like 47 steps in this episode.
What shoe size?
Not a feet guy. I don't know.
What does her hair smell like?
Oil.
Lavender, space lavender. Yeah, and cheeseburgers. But
Taco Bell.
I was kind of laughing when Vel and Cintas are having their conversation. I was like, Bix is right there. Cintas is like, yeah, no, we can't hang out anymore, Vel. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know what? I got a spy on Bix. You go. You rich bitch, get out of here.
How did I miss that?
She's like, I gotta diddle myself.
Good call. Yeah.
Go on.
Right.
Yeah, it made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody would blame her. I wouldn't. It was Cintas. It was weird seeing Cintas look like not like she was like living in the camp, like seeing all of the people from the camp that had made it out like in like their Star Wars civilian like looks is, yeah, it's sort of strange. It's like, oh, you look way better now, you know, because they're not just like roughing it, you know. That did a good job with that though. And yeah, but I'm gonna need to watch the episode again. Like I said, I feel like I got the core of it, but I like to really focus on it, and you know, because I love my uncle, but it was really hard to kind of focus on the first 20 minutes of the episode.
You just watch all the big scenes in slow mo.
Well,
down the street.
It was like as soon as I was able to start focusing on it, Andy Serkis showed up. People were getting shocked, and I was like, "Oh shit, the shit panned out." And then that also took me out of it for a few moments. You know, it does that sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but good stuff. So I mean, I want to go watch Tales of the Jedi. Are you guys gonna watch it tonight?
Yeah.
I can't watch it tonight, unfortunately, but
How are
I've seen
people
mixed
watching
reviews
both
on our
of
chat
them?
here.
Yeah, how are people watching both?
But at the same time, the harsh reviews from the chat, I don't know, it might be shit, but the harsh reviews from the chat are people who don't like Clone Wars at all and like Rebels over it. So I'm like, well,
I like Clone Wars. I'm just kind of past it. Like, okay, I'm more interested in the Dooku.
Yeah, I think I'm curious to
Yeah.
find out if because it looks like they're leaning heavy into the George Lucas version of the Count Dooku backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm curious to see them actually play that out.
And Yiddle. I'm interested
I was,
in her too.
you know what I was always hoping for, Max?
Huh?
You know about do you remember the Attack of the Clones cut stuff about the Lost 20?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So George Lucas, it was sort of like a throwaway line at first in one of the early drafts of Attack of the Clones, and it was that there were these lost 20 Jedi over the whole order. Only 20 Jedi ever left, and Dooku was like one of them. So it was like a big deal. But I was always hoping they were going to revive the lost 20, and that was going to be the Inquisitors. But instead of making that into a thing, they just were like, I'm the seventh sister. I don't know why. It sounds like an 80s band. You know, I mean, that was pretty much it. At the end of the day, it's fucking just a whole lot of nonsense. That sounds neat.
I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong, but my thought was that the Inquisitor that you see in that trailer for Tales of the Jedi ties into Dooku's backstory, and that's how those two stories maybe kind of intersect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, there's got to be a link, right? And they're not just like two disparate storylines.
Yeah.
Right?
As she says, Clone Wars kids will say it's the best Star Wars, whatever it is. I'm a pretty big Clone Wars fan, to be honest with you, but at the same time, Bad Batch is don't have a strong emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm entertained, but I don't actually like, and I feel like it's the same look. So I'm not sure if this is this Clone Wars or is this Bad Batch? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was a huge, well, I really really loved Clone Wars, but I'm past it. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm not.
I-
I'm interested to see Ahsoka, but in the Ahsoka.
Wait, you're interested in
show.
seeing Ahsoka's butt?
No way, Jose. No,
Very nice
like
butt.
I'm interested in seeing
Mm.
Ahsoka in the live action.
Raw Chagruda anus is what you're talking about right now.
You're
No,
so nasty.
thank you.
Yeah. You think they got those lines on their asses the same way they have on their face?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just like an arrow pointing.
It's just like it's like lightning bolts going into the ass almost, but like those. Yeah, it all goes like that over their body and converges into the butt.
So it's single point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Astro says, I would have watched it, but I have no internet and using my phone for the next few weeks. Watching Andor in HD and not 4K and the MSW show in 240p sucks. Oh, sorry, dude.
This is way better in 240p. Trust me.
Excuse me.
You don't want to see
Yeah.
this in full 4K. It's way too early in the morning.
Dale watched the second episode. They're pretty good. Well, I'm gonna go watch it. In the morning when I get up, we're gonna do another show. I think at noon tomorrow, noon Pacific Standard Time, and me and Rob are gonna go over all of those and all of the Tales of the Jedi episodes and this episode of Andor. And if either of you are able to make it, you're both invited. Just tell me, and I'll send you the invite.
I mean, because I really wanted a review.
Yeah. So are you? So you can you make it at noon Pacific Standard Time?
I'll do my
Okay.
best.
Yeah, if you can, and you're by all means, I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm sure everybody else would too.
Mhm.
And we'll like I'm gonna watch both of them again tonight, and then go to sleep, I think, and then wake up and then do that show.
What's going to be hilarious? It's going to be the most Clone Warsy thing Rob's ever watched, and he'll probably love it.
Maybe.
Oh, this is great Star Wars, and then we'll still refuse to watch Clone Wars.
Yeah, I mean, he's an enigma to me. Like if Rob is wrong about something, he will say he's wrong about something. He will accept the new idea, and then he will say, "Oh, then this is reality," and then he's a good man in that way. But for some fucking reason, if he has an idea about some Star Wars thing, he will not change it.
That he hasn't seen?
Or like he watched like the first like Clone Wars movie and was like, and it's like it has nothing to do with doesn't reflect the rest of it, and he won't listen.
The horrible irony in that is the other show he was talking about the people that refused to watch Andor because they didn't like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. Well,
I think we have to get one of those little chairs that they put Super Mario in and Bix and try and make him watch it.
No, fuck, we're going to 4 Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
we're just gonna.
Yeah, I gotta say we cannot mention Baby Yoda to Rob anymore. We cannot talk about Mandalorian movies. We got to keep it away from you guys. We got to work together. It takes a village to raise a Rob. I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
And he pushes everyone else to think that way too. Dale, we're never going to stop loving the Clone Wars. We're never going to stop. He'll never make us hate it. Ever.
I might actually go get some breakfast and watch Tales of the Jedi.
All right. Do it. And then sleep in and then come in and hang out with me and Dr. Roberto.
If I do, if I'm still like, if I slept in and I have my curlers on.
Yeah.
No.
Do that.
I might do audio.
I'll have my curlers in.
You could do. Yeah. I mean, if you're, if you ever want to cover yourself in marinara sauce and do the show with no video because you're embarrassed about that, that's fine. You can do that, Max.
Okay.
And James, you too. I mean, I know if you ever want to cover your body in guacamole and say, "Look, Mom, I'm on Nickelodeon. My dream came true." You can do that too.
And
That's
now you
fine.
tell me this shit. I've been doing the show as a puppet for like the last 10
Mhm.
episodes. Then
Yeah.
back
Well,
puppet?
I'll be honest with you, James. You hadn't earned it yet, but now after 8 weeks of this, I think we're on. I think you've earned it now.
all right, you're gonna see Puppet James next week.
Puppet James. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you guys for staying up with me tonight and doing this. And I hope you guys enjoyed Tales of the old Jedi. And everyone else, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And go to bed, losers. Here's a song that says the show's over. Fucking, the party's over. You guys should go. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the last one here. That's embarrassing.
It's the end of the show. Come
on, let's go.
Hey! It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.